local news, local weather, and local sports. On your side. Channel 2 News at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with new information just into our newsroom in the last hour. 2 on Your Side has obtained a letter from the Gao School informing parents that a New York City security firm has been brought in to scan the campus for so-called unauthorized devices. Thanks for joining us here on WGRZ Plus. I'm Dave McKinley. It comes following the arrest of former school administrator Matthew Fisher after sexually explicit images of naked boys under the age of 10 were allegedly found on his school-issued laptop. According to the FBI, more images depicting fully clothed boys appear to be from a hidden camera in an on-campus dorm room. While students are off this coming week for Thanksgiving break, the entire campus, including dorms, locker rooms, and bathrooms, will be searched for unauthorized devices such as hidden cameras. Any parent who believes their child may have been involved should call the FBI at the number on your screen. As violence continues in the Middle East, we've seen our share of clashes here in the United States between people who support one side or the other. But today in Buffalo, people who are pro-Palestinian and those who support Israel met to speak as one voice for a ceasefire and made a call for an end to the hostilities.
It's not about race or religion. If you have humanity, you come out and you demand ceasefire.
Ceasefire means immediate engagement by the international community toward a just and lasting peace in Palestine. Ceasefire is the only way to prevent more death and destruction.
Several hundred people attended that rally in Niagara Square this afternoon, calling for peace in the Middle East. 5 people are being assisted by the Red Cross after their Mandan Street home burned down. It happened last night just after 8:30. Fire investigators say about $150,000 in damage was done to the property. Tonight, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Thanksgiving will be here in less than a week, and tonight 3 churches are making sure those who may not be able to afford a Thanksgiving meal will have one. Our Keelan Berrien joins us from the newsroom with more on how these churches are coming together. Keelan?
Yeah, Dave. Members from University Presbyterian Church and Temple Beth Zion all met at Calvary Baptist Church to pack about 1,200 Thanksgiving meals and deliver them to residents. Senior pastor of Calvary Church, Corey Gibson, says this unique event happens every year. And what makes it so unique is seeing multiple denominations working together. Gibson says crossing denominational lines show how different communities can collaborate to do something great, which is why Leanne Grace, an elder at Presbyterian Church, says members of her church are joining. She says tragedy on May 14th made her church want to do more.
It's a wonderful experience being able to give back to the community and express our gratitude, our own particular thanks for what we have.
I certainly believe in reaching across denominational lines to see to it that we're all doing the work that God has intended for us. It just absolutely warms my heart, and it really shows that we truly can come together to do a work that is greater than ourselves.
So Gibson says when he first joined this initiative, he never imagined seeing so many volunteers wanting to join. But we have more of that story coming up later on at 11 o'clock. On Your Side in the newsroom, Keelan Berrien, Channel 2 News.
We look forward to that. Our cameras, meanwhile, we're on Genesee Street, where a local activist was handing out turkeys at the Price Chopper grocery store. This 6th annual event provided more than 150 birds to local families. Stefan Wright spoke with 2 on Your Side about what drives his efforts.
It's always been a passion of mine to give back to the community. I come from this community. I lived in this community my whole life. I'm 29 years old. I was born and raised in this community. And my mom always taught me it's better to give than receive. So I live by that, and I'd rather be a blessing to others because that's how I get my blessings to come back to me.
Wright says this turkey giveaway was put on pause during COVID, but brought back this year because of rising grocery prices. If your favorite part of Thanksgiving is dessert, folks today had a chance to pie it forward. Jam Parkside partnered with Pie It Forward Buffalo to collect Thanksgiving pies for the Buffalo City Mission. They say this will ensure that veterans, the elderly, and homebound people will be able to have dessert after their dinner.
People love to help. but sometimes it's like, how do I help? I don't know, it seems like too big a thing. It's really easy to go to the grocery store and buy a pie, buy a frozen pie, make a pie, and be able to drop it off, on the Saturday, Sunday before Thanksgiving. It's always a great thing to be able to help the community help us.
Collections will continue tomorrow and Monday. This year's goal is to collect 6,500 pieces of pie. And tonight we are celebrating Western New York at a special graduate reunion at Sisters Hospital Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. It was a chance for families to bring their children back to the hospital to visit with the doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers who provided specialized care when they needed it most in the NICU.
This is really important because our staff really focuses on family-centered care, and we like to see our patients, once we send them home, kind of how they're doing, how they're growing, how they're developing. And for our families that discharge, it's nice for the families to come and say hello to their favorite staff that took care of them while they were in the hospital.
And today's was the first graduate reunion since 2019. And the Bills are hitting the field in less than 24 hours. Let's send it over to Lindsay with a preview of that game. Linz?
Hi, Dave. Yes, all eyes will be on the Bills tomorrow afternoon as they look to get some long-awaited revenge on the New York Jets after a very disappointing season-opening loss back in early September. And not to mention, on top of it all, Sunday's game will also be Buffalo's interim offensive coordinator Joe Brady's first test in his new role. So there's all of that, and yet this game is crucial for plenty of other reasons than just getting even with this Jets team. Josh Allen said it this past week, the clock is ticking, and if these 5-5 Buffalo Bills want any chance to make the postseason, they cannot afford to have another 4-turnover performance, as they have been recently and also did back in week 1, as our NFL insider Vic Carucci explains.
With a continued fade pattern that they're running with regard to the postseason, yeah, the stakes are as high as they can be. This is another conference game that they cannot add to the loss list. You already have 5 of those, and it's another division game that you can't add there. Those are the things that hurt you badly in the tiebreaker scenarios for the postseason. So there's a lot at stake, and not to mention trying to end a 2-game skid, but really it's bigger than that. They've lost 4 of their last 6 and have not looked like a team that is anywhere near ready to play after the regular season.
So again, that game will get underway tomorrow afternoon with a 4:25 kickoff over at Highmark Stadium. And a reminder, the only 2 players with a game designation are defensive tackle Jordan Phillips and receiver Trent Sherfield, who are both listed as questionable for this one, but everyone else should be good to go. And we will have even more pregame thoughts from Vic tonight at 11, along with some Sabres analysis following last night's loss in Winnipeg from our NHL and Sabres insider Paul Hamilton. But for now, reporting in the studio, I'm Lindsay Mopper, Channel 2 Sports.
Hi everybody, I'm Paul here with your forecast. It was a nice day today. It was a little chilly, but we saw plenty of the sun. And taking a look at the current satellite and radar, just some clouds here and there, but a lot of clearing over most of western New York, especially the south towns and the southern tier. Zooming out here and seeing the big picture, you see what's coming next. A whole lot of nothing, at least for the next couple of days. Obviously the system out here, we're going to be timing that out in a moment for Thanksgiving. Stay tuned. But right now, the closer view on Future Look shows clear skies as we go throughout the evening. Tonight, we will have some clouds entering the area overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and then we do have some possible lake effect showers coming through the area Sunday morning. They're more so going to be just like a nuisance shower here and there. Some of this might be freezing rain in some of the higher elevations if it does make it a little bit further inland, but by the time we get into the late part of Sunday morning and then Sunday afternoon, that has pretty much moved out, and we're going to see clearing once again for Sunday, so plenty of sun throughout the rest of the weekend, so that is great news there. Clearing still as we get into the day on Monday. Finally, we do see Monday night some clouds enter the area once again, and those stick around through most of the day on Tuesday, but here is what we are trying to time out. So Future Look shows Tuesday late morning, early afternoon. That's when we see this next system coming into our area. Some snow, some mixed precipitation, and some rain as well, but the models have been ever evolving where it looks like the impact of this system is not going to be as significant as we once thought, at least in terms terms of the lake effect snow event. So big picture, once again, this comes in and timing it out, it hits our area Tuesday late morning, early afternoon, and it lingers. This used to be pretty much snow. Future Look has converted it at this point now to mostly rain as we get closer to the actual event, when the models typically get a little more accurate. So that's at least good news that right now it looks like it's not going to be a major lake effect event. Those showers stick around through pretty much all of the rest of Tuesday and Wednesday as well, at least in the morning, and then they do finally clear out. Future Look also shows some snow showers possibly popping up here in the southern tier as we get further into the day on Wednesday, but then we do see some clearing after that, which is going to be good news as we get into Thanksgiving and a little bit beyond. It's going to be a little bit windy throughout the rest of the evening tonight and also tomorrow. Currently, we're seeing wind gusts close to 25 or 30 miles an hour. It's going to get even more gusty as we get into the night tonight, close to 30 miles an hour. It eases off a little bit earlier in the day tomorrow, but then those winds pick up again as we get into Sunday afternoon, but then they die off. And by the time we get into Monday and beyond, the wind really isn't going to be a talking point. So future temperatures, we're going to be dipping down from the mid 40s to the low 40s, upper 30s in the north towns tonight, and then getting back up to the low to mid 40s for tomorrow. Pretty much the same situation in the south towns in the southern tier. We're sitting in the low 40s, upper 30s right now. We're going to dip down to the mid to low 30s in a lot of areas tonight, and then back up to the low to mid 40s for most of western New York as we get into the day tomorrow. We are seeing temperatures cooler than normal for this time of year. We're supposed to be right around 47 degrees for our normal daytime high. You see that most of us here in the country are affected by this cooler air. By the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to be especially cool throughout that period of time. And as I said, 47 is where we are supposed to be. We are 5 to 10 degrees below average for pretty much the entire next stretch here. So tonight we're going down to 37 degrees. It's going to be mostly clear, but again, we're going to have that breeze, gusts up to 30 miles an hour and sustained winds 10 to 20 miles an hour out of the west. Sunday up to 42 degrees. It's still going to be breezy throughout the day on Sunday, but then partly cloudy, 26 degrees overnight Sunday into Monday. Obviously, we're looking at the Bills game for Sunday. So out at the stadium, 41 degrees to start the game. The temperature is really going to take a little bit of a nosedive. By the time we get to the end of the game, it's going to be in the mid to actually lower 30s. But again, a little bit breezy. But as the game goes on, the winds are going to ease off a little bit. 4:25 p.m. kickoff, of course. So here we go with the 7-day. We're going to see plenty of sun the next 2 days, but it is going to be a little on the cool side. We do see this rain coming into the area Tuesday late into Wednesday. There is certainly a chance that we could see a little bit of mixed precipitation or some snow. That is going to linger throughout the day on Wednesday and possibly into the first part of Thursday, but it looks like we might have some clearing after that. It looks like Friday there shouldn't be any rain and you're seeing plenty of the sun. It looks possibly like Saturday we might see a raindrop or two, but it's a little too early to tell exactly. Pretty much the same for the south towns or the southern tier. I did keep an extra snowflake or two in the forecast for the southern tier, especially as we go Wednesday into Thursday. We're going to continually be looking at the models as they keep making the runs and update this in the next few days as we get closer to that Wednesday, Thursday time frame. But at least we are going to be seeing some sun for the next couple of days, and it looks like that chance of a major lake effect snow event has diminished in the last day or so.